Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 10-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. That'd be greatly appreciated. Go ahead and hit that notification bell to let you know as soon as I upload my new videos each and every single day, and I'll be here all NBA DFS season long breaking down these NBA slates to help you guys become better NBA DFS players and to help you win some money. Now, if you are interested in some further content from me, I do offer an NBA DFS Patreon package where you can get access to my premium NBA projections, NBA data sheet, player stats, team stats, play context stats, core plays, and injury impact insights, as well as my NBA Discord chat access. And then don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video where I'll be giving you guys my lock of the night. If you're new to the channel, it's a segment I do every single night. I'll give you my lock of the night. My best play last night, it was Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard having an absolute huge game. Now, more of an elite play. Sometimes I'll have some more mid-range plays. Sometimes I'll have some upper-tier plays, depending upon the price range, the matchup, the pace of the game. All of these things are included in my lock of the night, so make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video for that. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down the slate today. Philadelphia taking on Charlotte at 7 o'clock. Right now, it looks like both these teams are pretty much healthy for the most part. PJ Washington is expected to miss this one. And Terry Rozier is questionable. So I would expect Miles Bridges to get a start here. Terry Rozier's status could push LaMelo Ball into the lineup, and we did see Malik Monk get some more run as well last time out. So we'll have to keep an eye on that news. But as far as the Vegas lines are concerned, right now this game comes in with a 221.5 over-under with a 7.5 point spread in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers. So a game that's expected to stay somewhat close. I guess, we're not dealing with a real blowout spread. 7.5 point spread. It could turn into a blowout, but it's not double digits or anything like that. 10 point spread. So on the Philadelphia side, with a fully healthy team, we're looking at Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris. Joel Embiid would be my favorite option by far. He is priced up, but for a reason. This guy's put up 58, 58, 43, and 59 DraftKings points the last 4 times out. It's going to offer you 60-plus DraftKings points upside every single time he takes the floor. And against this the Charlotte front court, they do not scare me at all. Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, when Joel Embiid is in the game, I've been tending to kind of not really play too much. Ben Simmons at 8.2 is priced down more than what we've seen. He's been priced up in the high 8K range to low 9K range throughout the season. So a better price tag starting to get there. I just would prefer, honestly, to play Tobias Harris for about $1,000 cheaper. Similar upside, and you get the price tag discount. Not to mention Tobias Harris is just a little bit better of a shooter on DraftKings, where you get that half-point bonus for 3-pointers. Ben Simmons is not going to really provide you much of a bonus upside unless he gets the triple-double, which is possible. But on the Charlotte side, you're looking to Gordon Hayward as always. Gordon Hayward is my #1 option on the Charlotte side every single time out, consistently getting mid-30 to 40 minutes. And putting up good performances. The last few times out, he's been a little underwhelming, but I'd expect him to be able to get back up more towards the mid-40s to 50 DraftKings points in a close game in this one, especially if there's no Terry Rozier. We already know there's no PJ Washington, so I expect him to get more looks naturally. LaMelo Ball at 7K will be a great play if Terry Rozier misses. So I would definitely have some interest in LaMelo Ball if Terry Rozier continues to be out. He'll be a top priority of mine. Devontae Graham last time out as well was a pretty good play with no Terry Rozier, and if that continues to be the case, same thing. We'll feel real comfortable throwing him in our lineups. Cody Zeller continues to be a great play as well at 5.8. And then, as mentioned, Cody Zeller's putting up 37, 44 DraftKings points back-to-back contests, and he's still priced in the mid-5K range. This guy's getting, around 40 minutes as a starting center. So, Cody Zeller, a great play. And then Miles Bridges, as I mentioned, Miles Bridges and Malik Monk are going to get a little more run in this offense. Both of these guys make sense as some value plays if there is no Terry Rozier. Malik Monk going crazy last time out, putting up 48 DraftKings points. So, is he going to do that again? Probably not, but I can still see him putting up 30+, and at 4K, it's a very respectable price tag. So Malik Monk makes sense on this slate. Indiana taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Right now, this game comes in with a 232.5 over-under with an 8.5 point spread in favor of the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Milwaukee Bucks expected to run away with this one fairly easily. as they always are, it seems, a team that's frequently involved in some large spreads, a team that's always largely favored. So anyways, Karis LeVert, TJ Warren out. This is all kind of old news. There's nothing new here. Giannis Antetokounmpo at 11K. If this game's going to stay close, which it is expected to stay somewhat close for a Milwaukee Bucks game, he is always interesting. Last time out against Portland in the blowout, we only put up 33 DraftKings points, and that is the risk that you take when playing Giannis. Honestly, his team cannot blow out the other team, or else you're going to be in trouble because you're paying $11,000 for the guy. So 63, 67, 74 DraftKings points right in a row there. Has 70-plus DraftKings points upside every single time. If you think that this game is going to stay close, absolutely play him. It is a high total. Right now, I believe it is the highest total on the slate. So, yeah, no, I do like Giannis. It's just if it's going to be a blowout, he needs all the minutes he can get, and his coaching staff isn't exactly one to leave him in there when it's a blowout. So, speaking of blowouts, Domantas Sabonis and the Indiana Pacers blowing out the Memphis Grizzlies last time out. Domantas still played 35 minutes, surprisingly. It was able to put up 60 DraftKings points, so pretty big game from Domantas Sabonis. I expect him to continue to keep it going. I keep saying it, but it's just so true. Ever since Victor Oladipo left, him and Malcolm Brogdon are going to continue to be tremendous plays every night. And that does not change in this one. Even though Milwaukee's a pretty good team defensively, we already mentioned the total. It is expected to be a somewhat high total. We have Malcolm Brogdon in a somewhat of a revenge game, I suppose, taking on his former team in the Milwaukee Bucks, so could definitely have interest in him. Jeremy Lamb at 5'7" continues to be a great play with no TJ Warren and no Karis LeVert ever since the trade. Jeremy Lamb is going to continue to see a lot of run. The problem is this is a back-to-back, and I don't really know how they're going to manage his minutes on back-to-back. I tend to think he's going to be fine. He is priced up at 5'7", though, and we've been targeting him in the low 5K range, so starting to get a little too priced up for my liking. But in the fastest-paced game on the slate, it makes sense. And then the rest of the guys down here, honestly, I'm not all too interested in. You can play Brook Lopez at 5'3". He makes some sense for sure. Justin Holiday taking on one of his brothers. And this one, Justin Holiday, Aaron Holiday, and the three Holiday brothers, the three amigos, so to speak, will all be on the floor at once with Drew on the other side in Milwaukee. So I guess there's a narrative there for you if you want to play the Holiday brothers narrative. But yeah, Drew Holiday is an interesting option at 7'7" because of his price tag decrease down to him compared to a guy like Chris Middleton. I'm going to have interest in him. Chris Middleton's upside just seems to be capped with his price tag right now. I don't know. He could definitely get you there. I would say out of all games in this one, I'm going to have the most interesting Chris Middleton I've had in a long time. So, yeah, I'm going to actually have interest in him in this one compared to the ones I've been talking about if you've been watching my videos consistently. Dallas taking on Atlanta at 7:30. We got Luka Doncic in this one. This one game comes in with a 224.5 over-under with a 2-point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. So, a fairly respectable total, not exactly the highest paced game, but there are some defensive matchups to be had here. Luka Doncic taking on the defensive Trae Young. I'm going to absolutely love this matchup. After having some pretty underwhelming games recently for Luka Doncic, 45, 45, 49, 47, after putting up 86, 66 there a while back. I would expect him to be able to get back on track in this matchup taking on Atlanta, and I'm going to absolutely love Luka Doncic tonight if we can fit him in our lineups. So make sure you're getting him in your lineups. Trae Young on the other side at 9.5 makes some sense as well. Consistently seeing around 40 minutes a game in competitive games. And we're kind of just waiting on that game where Trae Young puts up like 60+ because, I don't know, he's due. He is going to be putting up a 70+ point game here eventually on the season. I can promise you that much with his ability to shoot the 3-ball on DraftKings. He'll be having a big game. Clint Capella at 8.8 continues to be an absolute fantasy point per minute beast on the Atlanta Hawks side. Hasn't had a big game in a while here, though, and he's priced all the way up. He was priced down in the mid-7K range and was putting up like mid-50, 63, 76 at one point. And now he's consistently been putting up like 40 DraftKings points a game. So kind of waiting on him to have a big one. But Kristaps Porzingis at 7.5 makes some sense as well. Taking that Atlanta team, he's still only seeing mid-30 minutes, but The coaching staff has mentioned that he's going to be cleared for back-to-backs pretty soon, and if he's starting to get really healthy, it's just a matter of time before Kristaps puts up a 60 DraftKings point game. And it could definitely be this one, so maybe time to target him. DeAndre Hunter continues to be out on the Atlanta side, so look for a little bit of a usage bump to John Collins, but he's still battling with on the glass with Clint Capella for board, so not really sure I'm trying to go there. I'd have more interest in guys like Cam Reddish, Danilo Gallinari, Kevin Huerter. All these guys are the wings that are going to see the bumps in usage and minutes because of the absence of Hunter. So all three of them being somewhat underwhelming. And I would say that I do prefer Huerter and Reddish greatly because Gallinari's minutes have been limited. But those two guys definitely make some sense. New York taking on Chicago. Julius Randle comes in with a 9-1 price tag. This game comes in with a 216 over-under, so expected to be a very slow-paced game, the lowest total on the slate. And for that reason, I'm going to make it pretty quick. Julius Randle, even though it's a slow-paced game, can get you there at 9-1. We just saw him play this game. He put up about 50 drafting points. I will say he's priced at the 9-1, and I think that's kind of his upside with this pace. So, you'd rather be getting like 60-plus for him at that price tag, but... And then Zach LaVine at 8.5. I'm going to continue to fade in this slow-paced game. His price tag probably will drop again after this bad performance, and then I'm going to be looking to play him next game for sure because it's really just a pace thing. Rory Markkanen at 7.1. Sure, you could go there. He continues to shoot a lot of threes. 6 for 11, 6 for 12 the last 2 times out. So he makes a lot of sense as a big man. It's very rare you get to play a big man at the power forward position that can shoot the 3-ball like that. And then RJ Barrett and Kobe White. These are the guys that are going to get mid-30s to 40 minutes in a competitive game, and the guys that are getting the usage in the offense, so they make sense as well. And then lastly, Thad Young. There is no Wendell Carter Jr. still, so Thad Young has seen his role increase recently, coaching really liking how he's playing. He's seen around 30 minutes a game and has put up 43, 41, and 39 DraftKings points. So, last time out putting up 39 in this matchup at only 5'9", he makes a lot of sense in this one. If Otto Porter Jr. is back, I'm not going to have as much interest in him, though, and Otto Porter Jr. is listed as questionable, so kind of tough because we're seeing Thad Young's price tag increase, not a ton, but up to 5.9 now, and now Otto Porter Jr. is going to be back, and he has been out, so Alec Burks, Elfrid Payton, all these guards on New York continue to split minutes, so not interested in any of these guys down here any longer. I was playing Alec Burks a lot early on the season when he had more of a solidified role, but not anymore. Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. This game right now comes in with a 216.5 over-under with a 9-point spread in favor of the Los Angeles Clippers, and I would not be surprised at all to see either Kawhi Leonard or Paul George rested on this back-to-back or both after that big game against Brooklyn last night. Not really too sure they care too much about them playing against this Cleveland squad, but even if they're in, I'm not looking to go there. I don't think this is going to be a competitive game. I don't think their services are really going to be needed throughout the game. So I'm not looking to go to the expensive Clippers guys. Andre Drummond is listed as questionable. If he is out, Jarrett Allen's going to continue to be a great play. I would expect him to be back. I think it was just a one-game absence, but if he's back, Jarrett Allen's a great play. Colin Sexton at 6'9" continues to be a great play. The only problem we're seeing with him is that for a while there, Darius Garland was out. Now Darius Garland is back, and Darius Garland's kind of digging into his usage. Last time out, Darius Garland put in 40 DraftKings points. So, would I rather play Garland at 5'9" as opposed to Colin Sexton at 6'9"? I think that's a question you have to ask yourselves. Jarrett Allen at 6'5". Once again, put up 58 DraftKings points last time out. If Andre Drummond's out, I'm going to love this guy. If Andre Drummond's in, it's a clear fade. He got a price tag bump, so I'm not looking to go there. And then on the Clipper side, if you're looking to play the blowout, I don't even know who you play. This team is so deep, and the game's going to be slow paced. So I'm not even going to sit here and tell you there's guys I like in the blowout because I really don't think I could point out who I'd like the most. So Washington taking on Miami. As far as the total in this one, we have a 229.5 over-under with an 8-point spread in favor of the Miami Heat. So pretty decent total on this slate. Expected to stay somewhat close for these Wizards. Consistently underdogs game in and game out. Not to pick on them, but it's just true. So as far as price tag, Russell Westbrook really stands out to me at 9.2. Now this is a back-to-back, so if he's rested, which I kind of feel like he's going to be, it becomes Bradley Beal's team, and it's Bradley Beal at 9-7 that we really want to be playing because he's going to get a ton of shots, a ton of responsibility, and he's pretty much the sole reason they will stay in this game. If he doesn't show up, they're going to get blown out. So, yeah, keep an eye on the Russ news. If Russ is in, I'm going to like him. If we find out he's not limited or anything and he's playing, I will like him, but I tend to think he's going to be rested. On the Miami side, Tyler Hero and Goran Dragic are listed as questionable. It's looking like Tyler Hero is probable, so expect him to be back in the rotation. And Goran Dragic's latest update is probable. So Miami team all getting healthy at once. That means Hero, Goran Dragic, all these guys priced up. Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, all of them. I'm not all too interested. This is a great matchup. It's just all these guys are coming back. Jimmy Butler at 8-4 is the main guy on their squad now, and he's back, so he's going to soak up a bunch of usage. 8-4, he does make a lot of sense taking on this Washington team. I will say I do prefer to target Jimmy Butler in competitive games. This one, I'm not too sure it's going to be all too competitive, so but he can still get you there real quick. Bam Adebayo, same rule applies to him. Great matchup, usage, minutes. And then Tyler Hero at 6'8", like, sure, you can play him. He can get you there. It's just, I don't know, he's priced way up. Like, Jimmy Butler is not in town and no one else is healthy, like, Goran Dragic and Duncan Robinson. Tough to go there. And yeah, on the Washington side, it's Bradley Beal, it's Russell Westbrook, it's Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura at 5'4", continues to see a lot of minutes. I liked him last night. He put up 34 DraftKings points at 5'3". Definitely can continue to keep it going at his price tag if he continues to see the minutes. And you could play an Ish Smith, the sixth man off the bench, who's getting some decent usage around, mid-20 minutes a game. He could get you there as well if you needed that value for some reason or you wanted to take a risk on him, but, not a top priority for me. Moving further along, Houston taking on Oklahoma City at 8 o'clock. Christian Wood comes in at 8-6 to top the guys priced in this game. This game comes in with a 221.5 over-under with a 6-point spread in favor of the Houston Rockets. And Christian Wood continues to just be an absolute fantasy point per minute beast, and there is no John Wall in this one, so I'd expect him to get a bit of a bump up in usage. He's only played 27 and 26 minutes the last 2 times out due to the blowouts. I'd expect him to get back up to, his mid-30s in this one, and with no John Wall, I really do like him at 8-6. Same rule applies for Victor Oladipo and Eric Gordon. These guys are going to get big bumps. All three have seen limited minutes the last few times out just because of these blowouts, but I think they're going to see their minutes ramped back up in this one, and they all make a lot of sense. These three guys are definitely my favorite options. They're really the only ones I'd be looking to for the most part. Kevin Porter Jr. Has been remaining in the G League, so we can't really play him yet, obviously. It'd be interesting to see how he affects the rotation once he comes up, but now David Nwaba is out, so you can see a bunch of PJ Tucker minutes. Maybe a little bit of a bump to a guy like Jayshawn Tate at 4-7. But, 27 DraftKings points the last 2 times out. Pretty good. Maybe he's the guy that we should be taking a hard look at with no John Wall in this one. So, but yeah, and then on the Oklahoma City side, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is listed as out in this one, which is going to open up a bunch of usage. So we could be looking to Thea Maladon, Diallo, Dort, all of these guys, and a pretty good matchup too is the thing. Houston doesn't worry me too much defensively. They did add Victor Oladipo, which helps their defense, but Diallo, Dort, Maladon, all of these guys are very intriguing options at their price tags, and I think they're going to be the ones we're really looking to for value on this slate. Dort, Maladon, and Diallo. That's really what it comes down to. These three guys are going to have to get the run, and they're all very interesting options. They're low 4K range. There's plenty of upside to be had there. And then lastly, Al Horford at 6K, a guy that's already been killing it since coming back. I'd expect him to have even more offensive duties. So 49, 37, 31 DraftKings points. Last time playing the first against the same Houston team, putting up 31 DraftKings points. I'd expect him to be able to put up a big game, 40-plus DraftKings points in this one. So I do like him as well. And a Darius Bazley you could be playing as well. I think this Oklahoma City side is one you have to take a really, really hard look at on this slate. Great place for value with no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in tonight. Minnesota taking on San Antonio. This game comes in right now with a 223.5 over under with an 8-point spread in favor of the San Antonio Spurs. So Spurs expected to win this one relatively easily. D'Angelo Russell is listed as questionable. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He just he seems limited. He hasn't been playing. His price tag's come all the way down to 6.8. If he's in and he's good to go, maybe we could be going there. But even then, he's capped out at like 29 DraftKings points. I don't know what's going on with him. Something seems weird. I guess he's got a quad injury, but I just, why are you returning the guy if he's not 100% healthy, and why is he not getting back on his feet? Something seems up there. Naz Reid at 5'8 is listed as probable, so we're going to have a lot of interest in Naz Reid with no Karl-Anthony Towns. And this one at 5'8, he makes a lot of sense as a play. LaMarcus Aldridge is listed as out in this one as well, so that's going to be a bit of a bump up to Naz Reid as far as matchups concerned. And a bit of a bump up to all the guys on the San Antonio side who get arguably one of the best matchups you could possibly have taken on Minnesota. So DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson, all these guys I'd expect to receive a bump with no LaMarcus Aldridge. And they all are very, very good plays on this slate. San Antonio's rotation has been so weird lately is the only thing. They're cutting these guys minutes. I don't know what's going on. If you're asking me to pick, like one or two guys, I'm saying no matter what, they're giving the young guys run. So I'm playing DeJounte Murray and Keldon Johnson. They're my top priorities. Jakob Poeltl at 4.6, if he gets a start, is an intriguing option. I just don't think he's going to get a lot of minutes. It's going to be spread out between Derek Roy, Rudy Gay, Lonnie Walker. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just spreading these minutes out right now. So I'm still looking to play DeMar DeRozan, DeJounte Murray, Keldon Johnson. I tend to think they're going to see their minutes climb back up here soon, so I want to jump on them while I can. With LaMarcus Aldridge, maybe they get a few more minutes than they would. And then on the Minnesota side, you can continue to play Anthony Edwards and what's expected. He's expected to have a lot of responsibility, the first-round pick, and the same thing for Malik Beasley, especially if there's no D'Angelo Russell. Both these guys make a lot of sense as plays. They're going to need their scoring to stay in this game, so like Naz Reid, and that's pretty much my overall breakdown on this one. Phoenix taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. This game right now comes in with a 222 over-under with a 3-point spread in favor of the Phoenix Suns. So expect to stay pretty close. 222 over-under isn't exactly the best, but not the worst either. Devin Booker is listed as questionable. It's looking like he's probable, so he's expected to return at 8K. We've seen Chris Paul's price tag increase all the way to 8.3. I think with Devin Booker being back, that is going to greatly hurt his usage and his upside. So maybe not looking to play Chris Paul anymore at 8.3. Maybe going to a cheaper guy like DeJounte Murray we just discussed, or someone else early on the slate like a Victor Oladipo. With no John Wall. And then Eric Bledsoe, Lonzo Ball continue to be good plays, getting pretty decent run and still priced down in the 5K range. Eric Bledsoe, Mr. I don't want to be here. If you remember, if you've been following NBA for a while, when he was in Phoenix, that's how he made his exit, by tweeting, quote, I don't want to be here, period, and then was shipped off shortly after that. So I don't think he likes Phoenix, so maybe a little bit of an added incentive there. And then Lonzo Ball at 5.7, I will continue to like as well. Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson continue to be priced up at 8.1 and 8K. If I'm picking one, it's Zion Williamson. Brandon Ingram's production has just not been there. Zion Williamson, there's more rebounding upside. He's more involved down low on the glass, so I'd rather go there. But honestly, not really sure if either of those guys are a priority for me. And then, yeah, Steven Adams continues to be listed as questionable. If he is out, last time we saw some run from Jackson Hayes and Hernan Gomez. Now, Jackson Hayes did get himself in some pretty good foul trouble, which led to Hernan Gomez getting a lot more run. So whether Hernan Gomez actually gets that run if Jackson Hayes stays out of foul trouble is to be had. I tend to think they split the minutes, so both pretty good fantasy point per minute producers, so both are actually pretty interesting options. As far as picking my favorite, it is really close, so I do think that both these guys are valid in this one. We'll have to see how they grade out my final projections run. But both make sense for sure. So Boston taking on Sacramento. Last game on the slate. Jason Tatum, top guy in this game with 8.9 price tag. This game comes in right now with a 226.5 over under with a 1.5 point spread in favor of the Boston Celtics. So a pretty decent spread. I mean, a pretty decent over-under and a close spread. Marcus Smart continues to be out. This is a back-to-back for Kemba Walker. So whether he plays or not will be interesting to keep an eye on. He did play 30 minutes last game out. Even if he plays, I'd expect him to be somewhat limited, which is going to make me like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown a lot in this one. I'd expect them to carry the load for their team. I'm not too worried about a back-to-back when it comes to two young studs like this. I don't think their minutes are going to be capped or anything like that. Jaylen Brown at 7'9", I really like in this matchup. Sacramento is terrible defensively, guys, so Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both make a lot of sense. Like both of those options a lot in this one. De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Rashawn Holmes, top options on the Sacramento side. They make the most sense. De'Aaron Fox putting up 63 DraftKings points last time out, taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, of course, this isn't as good of a matchup as that one, but still an intriguing option. Buddy Hield, Rashawn Holmes, same thing. These guys' minutes are starting to be pretty solidified, mid-30s to 40 minutes in competitive games. Buddy Hield at 6'6" can just blow that price tag away with his ability to shoot the three-ball on DraftKings, so I play him a lot this season, it seems like. Rashawn Holmes is putting up 45 DraftKings points last time out, so these are the guys you're looking to target. Halliburton and Harrison Barnes also make sense. I'm going to continue to fade Marvin Bagley. I just don't think the upside's there. Harrison Barnes and Halliburton continue to produce pretty well, whereas Bagley's not really doing too great. So, yeah, that's pretty much my overall breakdown of this 10-game NBA DFS slate. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Victor Oladipo, priced at this 7-8 price tag. There is no John Wall in this one, so Victor Oladipo will take over the on-ball handling duties at the point guard position for the majority of this game. Going to have a lot more assists upside, a lot more points upside, a lot more usage, and I absolutely love him in this matchup, taking on his former team in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Victor Oladipo is expected to have a big game in this one in my eyes. Absolutely love him at this 7-8 price tag, and there's no doubt that with John Wall out, Victor Oladipo is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Victor Oladipo, get him in your lineups. And that is all from me. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. I'll be here all NBA DFS season long, breaking down these slates to help you guys win some money. And don't forget to check out my Patreon package, link below in the description. If you're interested in some further content from me, get access to all my premium projections, core plays, all of that good stuff at an affordable price tag compared to all of these, pricier industry leader sites where they're charging you $40 a month. So check that out. And that is all for me, guys. Wish you all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.